Hey guys, it's Chris Cornars here with the cryptocurrent team bringing you another episode of Crypto Basics with Chris K. We have a bit of a different video today as we're going to be talking about FUD and what FUD is, why it matters, and why you should care what FUD is. Of course, before we dive into the topic of today, I do want to remind everyone that if this is your first time coming to the channel, please do subscribe, ring that notification bell so that way you know whenever new content goes up. We have new content on our YouTube channel 6 days a week. And if you like this video, if you like content like this, please do leave a like for us and drop a comment down below letting us know what you like or maybe didn't like about this so we can provide you with the best possible content. But now let's dive on in. First and foremost, y'all are wondering, what is FUD? For those who don't know, FUD is a 3-letter acronym that stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. A little interesting, right? Not as positive and all sunshine and rainbows as usual, but you're probably now wondering, why should I know what FUD is and why should I care? Well, just to give you a little background, FUD, or fear, uncertainty, and doubt, I'll call it FUD throughout the video, is a strategy to influence the perception of certain cryptocurrencies or the cryptocurrency market in general by spreading negative, misleading, or false information. So this is typically used by traditional media sources to slow the growth or artificially reduce the value of either cryptocurrencies in particular or cryptocurrency in general. And why should you care? Well, I'll give you some examples of FUD in a second, but you should care because it's not great, right? If you have We're trying to drive mass market adoption. And if you have these major media outlets that essentially command the public opinion, telling people, oh, you shouldn't like it, here's why, and the information isn't entirely accurate, well, that's just outright lying, right? It's basically misleading people into not pushing the frontier because of various reasons. And I'm going to explain some of those reasons in a second. But of course, up first, I do want to give you examples of what FUD is versus what FUD isn't, right? Because it can get very easy to say that all negative crypto information is FUD, when that isn't always true. Up first, primary example, first one that came to mind for me is going to be, China banning Bitcoin or crypto in general. This is FUD. And the reason this is FUD is because China does this almost every year on the same day. They've done this many times before. And a lot of international media, the United States media included, will push this story as much as possible because it scares newbies to the markets, right? If you haven't been in crypto that long, you're going to hear, oh, China bans crypto, and you're going to freak out if you just got in. But if you've been in it for a few years, you know this happens literally every year. And so that's why this is a bit misleading. And also, it plays into FUD because the reality is that this news isn't news. It shouldn't have an effect on the market because it won't affect you unless you live in China, right? And that's kind of the general gist of what FUD is. It's blowing certain things out of proportion to garner a large negative reaction, when in reality, there shouldn't be a reaction, let alone a negative one at all. Up next is an example of what isn't FUD. And that is, the headline that crypto scammers are getting more sophisticated, right? It sounds like FUD because it's scary. Like, oh my God, I could get hacked or scammed at any time. I don't know. But, as much as it spreads fear, which plays into the concept of FUD, it's true. And although it can cause some market pullback, the reality is that investors, myself and you watching included, need to be more careful, right? Don't click on links you don't know. Don't send crypto to someone you don't know, or maybe someone you do know, right? Like, we say this a lot on the channel, right? It's not your crypto if it's not your keys. So sending crypto to someone for, no reason, or they promise you, oh, I'll give you this much in return. If there's no guarantee, you shouldn't do it. That's an easy way to get scammed. And, what I'm trying to get at here is, although this is a little fearful and it's going to put some doubt into what you do a lot in crypto, it actually is an important piece of news, and it's something that informs you and keeps your mind in the right place. And I hope that your next thought is, how can you deal with FUD? Obviously, it's widespread, it's common practice at this point, but how should you deal with it? Is there a certain way you should react? And the reality, and in my personal opinion, of course, is there is no prescribed way to react or how you should deal with certain types of FUD. Okay, because the reality is FUD in general is typically the cause of the market behaving far differently than analysts are going to project. And so the only way really to deal with FUD is to do your own research. If you understand more than just crypto markets or the political climate in your country or the state you're from, for example, if you're in the United States, that's going to give you a lot more context to the news that you're seeing, particularly about crypto. Like when I saw the China news, I knew right off the bat that it meant nothing, right? It happens every year. Why should I care? But with other things, like sometimes I'm like, this seems reasonable. Like it's scary to hear, but it's not that far fetched. And I would have to do some digging to learn more. And that's kind of what I'm getting at, right? If you have a better grasp of people that stand to gain or stand to lose something from crypto success, it puts the headlines and the comments made in perspective, right? For example, Peter Schiff, who we talk about as being very anti crypto on this channel and our content, whenever he is speaking bad about crypto, you should realize and take it with a very massive grain of salt, essentially the whole salt mine, because he is heavily, heavily invested into gold and he keeps buying more gold. So he stands to lose literally everything, right? His entire investment portfolio if Bitcoin succeeds, because Bitcoin is the digital version of gold. It's seeking to replace it. And that's kind of the general idea, right? If you understand what people's stakes are, it puts what they say into perspective because you understand why they're saying it and it helps you read in between the lines. But just to wrap things up here, I want to remind you it's important to understand FUD because, like I was saying, when markets behave unexpectedly, it's typically because of a little media magic or media manipulation. And finally, the people that are in the know and that are well read, typically a minority. I completely messed that up. But finally, people that are in the know and well read, which is typically a minority, they're going to react properly, right? But the masses, people who react without doing more digging, they're the ones who are going to freak out, which causes a mass pullback or change in the market. And that's what you need to realize, right? The only way to really be successful in investing of any kind, not just in crypto, and this isn't financial advice again, is to understand things on your own. It's all well and good to listen to someone else give you information, even if you think or know they're an expert. But unless you yourself know it, it's very easy to be misled because you can trust someone 100% of the time, even if they're honest 99% of the time, that 1% can still hurt you. So do your own research, learn more, and that's how you're going to deal and kind of push back against all the FUD that's spreading, right? Let's be positive here. Let's keep things going. Crypto isn't going to hurt anything. It's a new innovation, and we should treat it as such. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Again, I'm Chris Cornaros here with the Cryptocurrent team, and I want to remind you if you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment letting me know your thoughts on FUD and any scary news that you may want debunked. And of course, if this is your first time, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. But until next time, guys, I'm Chris Cornaros with the Cryptocurrent team, and I'll see you next Wednesday.